So the Google Pixel 2 and its little brother have been out for several months now, and if we're to believe Google's Instagram feed and the attendant Team Pixel hashtag, they're doing very well, which they deserve to. These are very good, just ever so slightly shy of excellent devices that, in my opinion, represent the definitive Android experience. I was lucky to get my hands on one for about a day, and I must confess that I briefly considered not returning the device to its owner. Before unboxing the actual device, we will take a brief look at Google's official fabric case. It comes very well presented and is itself a handsome affair. It's a nice sturdy grippy case that protects all sides and corners of the device, except for the large cutout at the bottom. It even has an inner lining of microfiber. Well done, Google. Moving on to the actual box itself, it's pretty standard. You get the device up top, but we'll put it off to the side for now. Next, you get a USB-A to USB-C dongle, which is a very handy accessory to have during this transition period to the USB-C standard. Underneath that, we have a bunch of paperwork. I wonder why they still include these in boxes. Then comes the USB-C to 3.5mm audio jack dongle. Yes, Google has joined the movement, but the arguments for and against have been done to death, so we'll just move on to the next item, which is a USB-C cord for charging and data transfer. An 18-watt charging brick rounds out the box's contents. It's your standard flagship OEM packaging, and it should definitely have headphones in the box, but I guess we'll take what we get. The Pixel 2 XL is built around a 6-inch OLED display. For a device with a 6-inch display and front-facing stereo speakers, the Pixel 2 XL is surprisingly ergonomic. I have small hands and I didn't struggle with occasional one-handed usage. The two speakers that flank the display get so loud. The front-facing camera and the usual array of sensors can be found above the display. On the right side of the device, you'll find the power button and the volume rocker. These are nice, clicky and responsive. On the left side, you'll find the SIM tray. This is not a dual SIM device, and on the top you'll find nothing but a secondary microphone. On the bottom, you have the USB-C port that supports fast charging. The back of the device retains the two-tone glass window design thingy from the last generation, the excellently placed fingerprint sensor, and the 12-megapixel camera that is capable of far greater things than its spec sheet suggests. I have my trusty OnePlus 3T nearby, so we can do some quick size and weight comparisons. The Pixel is obviously taller and thinner because of the screen and aspect ratio. The 3T is ever so slightly lighter, but make no mistake, the Pixel 2 XL is quite light for its size. When I booted into the Pixel 2 XL for the first time, there was an update to Android 8.1.0 waiting for me. This update has quite a number of important under-the-hood changes, including AR stickers, activation of the Pixel Visual Core, which makes HDR processing faster and allows third-party camera apps key into the HDR processing on the Pixel, a new high saturation mode for the display, as well as some tweaks to the launcher and system UI. The first thing you'll notice about using the Pixel 2 is just how fluid and right, for lack of a better word, everything feels. Animations, app opening, scrolling the UI, retention of apps in memory, response to touches, all of that user experience good stuff. They move along as they should. That is, you just get the sense that everything is as it should be as regards the UI. This is different from the manic feeling of speed that can be achieved by going into developer settings and reducing animation duration. No, this is a deliberate and unmistakable optimization of the software for the hardware done by Google. My eyes glaze over just thinking of the result of marrying this to a display with a 120Hz refresh rate, but I digress. Nifty touches like double tapping the power button to launch the camera from any screen, using the fingerprint sensor as a touchpad to pull the notification shade down, as well as the speed and accuracy of the aforementioned fingerprint sensor add to this effect. Android Oreo also brings picture-in-picture mode for apps that support it, allowing you to, for instance, watch a YouTube video while continuing to scroll your Twitter feed. Notification management has also been turned up to 11 on Android Oreo, and in apps that target this API level, there are more customizations to notifications than you can shake a do not disturb toggle at. Everything is geared towards a pleasing, fluid experience that is also customizable to your taste, and it is brilliantly executed. And now we've come to arguably the part of the device that gets talked about the most, the cameras. The Pixel 2 XL is equipped with a 12 megapixel camera with an f1.8 aperture that has dual pixel autofocus and optical image stabilization on the rear, and an 8 megapixel f2.4 unit on the front. There's nothing fancy about it on paper, but in practice, whoa mama. You fire up the camera and that happens instantaneously, and from any app if you've enabled the quick camera launch feature, and you're welcomed into a pretty basic viewfinder. The only control you have is exposure compensation. You frame your shots, you click the shutter button, and then magic happens. This is hands down the best smartphone camera on the planet. The previous Pixel was in this spot last year, and I am almost certain that the Pixel 3 will be here later this year. I don't know the witch's brew of image processing and machine learning that Google has employed, but nearly every image taken on the Pixel 2 XL in nearly every condition excels in detail, sharpness, contrast, color accuracy, and dynamic range. The story is the same for both cameras on both models. Google has even managed to do portrait mode with a single lens and sensor, and get this, turn out images in this mode that are better than those of other flagships with dual sensors. Battery life is great. The 3520 mAh battery is more than adequate enough to keep the lights on for a full day and charges rapidly as well. And last but definitely not least are two, let's call them perks of owning the Pixel 2. Number one, the now playing feature that recognizes almost any song playing from an offline database, so this will work even in airplane mode, and then presents the artist and title of the song to you on the always on display or in notifications. And two, the squeeze to summon the assistant feature, where you squeeze the bottom third or so of the phone to fire up the assistant. Now these sound like gimmicks, but in my time with the device, I used and enjoyed them very much, particularly the latter, which is the fastest way to summon the Google Assistant. The Google Pixel 2 XL scores great to excellent marks in all areas a flagship smartphone should be judged, and combines this with perks like full resolution backup of your photos to Google Photos, as well as being first in line for Android updates, into a package that, like I said in the introduction, is the definitive Android experience. This is how Android was meant to be enjoyed, and I cannot wait to place my order for the Pixel 3 XL later this year. Thank you guys for watching and sticking to the end of this video. Please take time out to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm currently trying to get at least 1,000 subscribers before February 20th. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys in the next video.